Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's getting warm here again. After a few weeks of unseasonably cool weather, the heat and humidity are coming back. Still not too bad if you're in the shade. There's somewhat of a nice breeze, so it's not totally uncomfortable, but back to some warm weather beers, I think. And I'm going to do another Deschutes beer since they've or just recently come to the state. One of their year-round beers, which is all we get locally. I'm going to do their Chainbreaker white IPA. Apparently it's a wheat beer with a lot of hops. I guess related to what I'm familiar with, what I've done anyway, what I really like is the 80 Acre from Boulevard. They just call it a hoppy wheat beer. They don't call it a white IPA. But anyway, from the website it says, Deschutes is taking you into the next beer frontier. Brewed with wheat and Pilsner malt, this IPA displays beautiful citrus aromas from Cascade and Citra hops that meld with the esters of Belgian yeast. Think thirst-quenching, hopped-up beer with enough IBUs to warrant the IPA name. It says malt, Pilsner, wheat, an unmalted wheat, hops, Bravo, Citra, Centennial, and Cascade. It says other, sweet orange and coriander, 6% ABV, 55 IBUs. Just going to use a standard pint glass today, so let me get the lid off this and get the cap off this and see what Deschutes has done with their Chainbreaker white IPA. Gonna give it a fairly aggressive pour, at least to the finish. I don't know if there's any yeast in this or not, but yeah, we got a slightly. If it's a wheat beer, it should have some yeast and a little cloudiness, and that it does. It's a nice, fairly hazy, straw colored, straw yellow. Got a nice fluffy looking finger of a head. Decent looking beer, so let's get a nose on it. Okay, yeah, I'm not getting a lot of malts. I'm definitely almost getting some like lemongrass, definitely floral hops, slightest hints of a Belgian yeast. I don't know if they used a Belgian yeast. It doesn't say what the yeasts are, but it's almost like a Belgian-like note for the yeast notes, but that's really all I'm getting on the nose. Not a real strong nose. Like I said, a little lemon, some floral hops. There may be a bit of that orange in there. I'm not getting the spices, the coriander or anything like that they put in there, but let's get a taste. Okay, yeah, you're getting like an earthy taste. Definitely getting the wheat on the taste more than on the nose. The citrus is there, and the yeast. They could sort of complement each other. Again, I think possibly a Belgian yeast. There's a touch of hops up front, and on the back end, but not overly dominant. Mostly it's the yeast and the wheat flavor. There is a nice, slightly bitter hop bite with some grapefruit notes, but mostly slightly bready and spicy. Getting some light hints of that coriander, but not a lot. What spices there are there, they come out a little bit and they kind of enhance the other flavors, but they're way in the background. There may be a hint of a cracker-like malt note and Belgian yeast, what can I say, twang in the finish, but it's not really balanced in the way of hops and malt, but it does is balanced when it comes to the spices versus the hops. fairly light-bodied, really prickly carbonation. Not a real dry finish. Not what you expect from an IPA. It's more of a wet, kind of slippery finish. Not really refreshing. It is refreshing, but it doesn't finish clean. So let me sit. I'm going to sip on this. I'm not going to let it warm up a ton, and I'll come back after a while with the final thoughts and grade. Okay, I'm back. It's only been 10 minutes or so. Just a quick aside. I've had a couple comments. Some people seem to think I wear this yellow shirt a lot. Actually, I have 7 of them exactly alike. This is from a barbecue contest I used to judge in Kentucky when I lived in Indiana, and all that was back in the days where when you went as a judge, you got a gift bag, and it always included a shirt. And you always got at least a shirt. Now they don't do that anymore. I pretty much stopped judging barbecue. I didn't even renew my membership this year in the Kansas City Barbecue Society. So darn many judges now that they take, the organizers of these events take the judges for granted. They said, well, if that guy doesn't come, we'll get another one. We'll get another 10. 13, 14 years ago, when I got certified, I was judge number 2475. Now there's judge number. You see them, and they never even put the judge's number on the tags back then. But now, they put it on the tags. You see judge number 58,932, or 60,337. Just way too many judges, not enough events. It's almost impossible to, even if you apply months in advance, to even get to judge contests anymore. So I'm not doing that, but that's an aside. But anyway, about the shirt, yeah, I've got 7 of them identical, so you'll probably see this shirt or one exactly like it a lot. But anyway, back to the beer. Yeah, this is a decent offering from Deschutes. Not really quite my, I like wheat beers, I like IPAs. It doesn't really fit the profile of either one, though. It's that earthiness I mentioned with the in the initial taste is still there. I mean, this almost reminds me. I think it's probably they probably do use a Belgian yeast, because I am starting to get a few like banana notes too, along with the hop fruit flavors. But this almost reminds me of a farmhouse ale or a saison rather than an IPA or just a straight wheat beer. But that being said, it's a decent, drinkable, fairly hoppy wit beer. I don't know if I'll buy it again. I think I like that Mirror Pond Pale Ale that I did earlier better than this, at least for the style. But this would be a decent 6-pack to bring to the beach, or it's definitely a hot weather beer, that's for sure. Of course, winter's coming, fall and winter are coming, so I kind of slack off on these type of beers that time of year, but it's still it'd make a great lawnmower beer. It doesn't blow my socks off, but it's decent, it's drinkable, and fairly reasonably priced, considering we're here in the middle of, we're here in Iowa. But I'm going to give the Deschutes Chainbreaker White IPA, I'm going to give it a good solid 7.5. It's decent, it's drinkable, not outstanding. Don't expect anything stellar. Definitely nothing gonna blow your socks off or anything like that. But decent, drinkable beer. So till next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beers.